Good evening, FOF. I am Raptor here with Auntie, and we're back for Falcon versus Yumi in our third game of the day. And Yumi fighting for their spot as the only undefeated team left in the league after our last match.
And I'm really interested to see how this one's going. We already see Samira, Nocturne, and Galio banned, so that's taking away three things that Yubi likes a lot. And the Morgana pickup to deny the Morgana jungle again. So they're taking away a lot of the comfort picks from Yubi. Meanwhile, we're seeing them taking away a ton of AoE, so we know that they don't just want to sit there and AoE team fight into another bit of AoE.
Yeah, this is already very fast draft. Like they've gone through the bans on the first picks like instantly. Now it's starting to slow down a bit as we are waiting for the next thing. I want to ask you right now, do you think that's a Maokai top or a Maokai support?
I'm hoping it's a Maokai support. As far as I'm concerned, Maokai, one of my favorite top laners to play. Dear Lord, he's not good right now.
Yeah, he's. It's been a while since I've gotten to play that. I remember trying him in support. He's okay. Now, this though is actually what I hope is the support. It's something I've played a lot of. Is Jarvan, fun support, fun jungler. He's just a fun champion to do a lot of engage with, and especially with a Maokai, there's a lot of setup for a strong engage from Yumi right now. And as we see, we know that is not going to be a Morgana support, at least with the Rel lock-in. Guessing that's Morgana jungle, taking it from Yubi, not allowing them to get their signature pick.
Now, this is interesting because, like, it's a question. I don't believe Jarvan's going to necessarily be able to keep up to the same pace as Morgana. Especially because I think on this patch, there's still the bug where Morgana's W will sometimes do double damage.
I didn't hear about that one. That would make sense, though. Good for clear. And, ooh, a Vayne. Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. So, it works really well with Jarvan.
And, like, Yubi has been really doing... they've been really thriving with these single damage compositions, putting everything on their AD carry to just pump out everything. And Vayne is a really good champion for that. It's going to be a question as to whether or not Falcon Esports are going to draft long enough range damage to punish her, though. Because if they pick, like, Orianna set right now, or something like that, it becomes very hard for Vayne to do her job, regardless of whatever, team comp that she's got. And if they don't ban set here, and Falcon Esports have a set player, all of a sudden, it becomes so much more difficult.
Yeah, I would not want to be that Vayne into a set. But so far we see it's just a Yone, so that set is up on the table still. We'll have to see if they pick that. Now, if you're Yubi, do you grab your top lane right here, or do you grab your, assuming that's the Maokai's support, or do you grab your mid laner right here, you think?
I think you could probably grab your mid laner because you want to still be able to flex the top lane. Like, that's the point of the Maokai pick, I believe. And their mid has, like, we've seen their mid on Galio a lot. Well, that's Cho'Gath, so I'm guessing that's their top. Unless their mid could actually just straight up flex it. Not a terrible pick overall here. Like, I actually like the ability to flex the Cho to top or mid. So it's still a little bit ambiguous. Just a little.
Yeah, without the Silas, there's nothing to steal his feast and turn it around on his team. That's been something that we've seen a lot of lately. And definitely something you don't want to have as a Cho'Gath. So good on that ban for them. Ornn coming out, it means mid lane left for FEC, unless that Morg goes mid. I don't think so. Not many people playing that nowadays. But that's a solid top lane, And it's
like, Ornn's definitely not a bad top lane. He can break the Jarvan wall to avoid. Oh, interesting. Now, is that an Echo mid pick or an Echo jungle?
I think he's been nerfed out of the jungle too hard. I think that's an Echo mid.
I don't know. I think Echo jungle is still solid enough. Like, he still does quite a bit of damage. I think both of them could work. I think that Echo mid blind is really spooky.
Yeah, and I know. I think, like you said, I guess it could still go jungle. I think the Morgana though is a better pick for that. It just has better clear, and especially blind. A Corki. Ooh, we don't see many of those in the Heroic League. And I'm going to see those many of those in Mythic.
Also, one of the really big things here is that they're no longer running a single damage composition. And that's something that we haven't seen from YUBI in a bit because they've been playing mostly Galio and then just having Jeff God Gamer smurf it down. And like it's really interesting to see how this game will pan out because we haven't seen that many opportunities for Sivalok to play damage.
Yeah, I think that will be interesting to see. Now, looking at these comps, from what you see right now, who are you giving to this game? Personally, I think YUBI has it. I think this scales into the late game, and it's just too tanky for Falcon to deal with. But I want to know, do you feel the same way?
Yeah, like the thing is, right? If you're picking Ornn, you want him to be your sole tank. Like a lot of the times, people are picking Ornn because they're like, okay, if we're scaling into late game, we got 5,000 extra gold on the board, and we've got a soul tank who's going to be ridiculously tanky. But YUBI with the Vayne pick makes it really hard for Ornn to actually sit there and tank all of that damage. So because their only other frontliner is going to be Rel, Ornn isn't going to really be able to like just sit there and tank everything, and it's going to be significantly harder for FEC to actually like do too much unless they're getting ahead early.
Okay, so I'm taking it that you're going for YUBI on this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give that to YUBI.
Alrighty, it's a 2-0 for YUBI. We'll have to see if they can live up to our expectations or if Falcon will upset them as we're getting ready to get on to this Rift. Here we go, third game of the day, FEC versus YUBI. Last undefeated team fighting to stay that way. And you know, Auntie, also something else I just realized I forgot to mention. How are you doing?
I'm chilling, you know. I'm interested to see how this one goes. RLS, we got our first win over the weekends, and we've already seen a lot of things that we can improve on from that. So we're happy.
Yeah, I saw that. Congratulations, you guys. It was very, very nice to see you guys get that win.
Yeah.
It's only up from here. It's undefeated for you guys from here.
Ooh, Soul Stealer Vayne. Nice.
Ooh.
Oh, so it is the Echo mid. All right. Now,
yeah.
if you're picking Echo mid blind, it's almost certainly a comfort pick. So let's see how strong Camel Basil's Echo is.
Yeah, and I'm going to be keeping an eye out on Utility Monster. We have seen him just pick nothing but Morgana jungle this entire season. So I want to see how he does off this. I want to see how he does on a Jarvan. It is a pretty safe jungle pick. I could see that maybe that being a reason they picked it up for him, but maybe it also is something that he's actually really good at, and the Morgana is just like a handicap for the enemy teams.
Yeah, one of the things about Jarvan jungle is that, like, yes, he's a great jungler as like his kit is great for jungler. Like, he's got damage, he's got a gap closer, he's got CC, which are the three things that junglers want.
He's back. He's back.
So you're still going to...
I thought he's doing a bait there. I was like, there's some cheeky plays going on.
That is an incredibly unfortunate disconnect.
It really is. I'm surprised they didn't get to go for a pause there, but you know, it is what it is. And you know, he's still got range. Ezreal is someone who can sit back and just poke with the Q, so it's not like he's in complete danger there.
Yeah, just pop a pot, you know, just you'll heal it back up.
Sivalok taking a lot in the mid lane. Speaking of Sivalok, he has taken quite a beating already in here, kind of matching pay time in terms of the damage taken, or at least close to it. So at least they're getting something on the board right there. As we see a pretty standard clear coming out for Wild West and for Utility Monster too.
Yeah. The thing about Jarvan, like on paper, his kit itself is ridiculously good for jungling. Right now, he's getting outpaced by a lot of the meta junglers, so it's a question as to whether or not he can actually like stay healthy and keep to the same pace as Morgana here. So I'm not too sure how strong that's going to be for them.
Yeah, and they're going in. Jeff God getting stunned up by Beshi, getting kind of slapped back though. Brian doing a really good job holding him off there. Brian, the star of last week's game, I don't remember if you remember him.
I was casting that game too.
Oh, yeah, you were there with me, right? Yeah, and the Nautilus just so insane. I want to see if he can do a similar performance today on this Maokai.
Unlike Maokai, really, really good disengage support, and especially against Rel, who just wants to get in on you.
Yeah, and I'm guessing he's going to kind of go the little bit of an AP route with the little traps, but I mean, because he's got the spell thieves, but he could still go a little bit tanky too. You know, help with that disengage, be able to get into that line if the Vayne gets jumped on by a little bit more space. But it's also really not a matchup. Like as a support man, I don't see this matchup very often. I haven't actually seen a lot of Maokai lately. Maybe I'm just unlucky. I have seen a lot of Rel, and I have seen a lot of. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, the reason why is because Maokai as a support has fallen off quite a bit after the mana nerfs on his E.
I guess that would make sense. Yeah, those did come in pretty hard. You know what I did see though recently? Poppy support was looking pretty fine.
As someone who likes Poppy support a lot, it's really, really good into very certain team comps. But outside of those team comps, it's so easy to punish her. But anything where it's like, if you're running a single damage comp and the enemy team is running like a gap closing, like a dash heavy gap closing assassin style comp designed to like get rid of your AD carry, Poppy's the pick.
Yeah, and in this case, I think I actually think the Maokai is a solid pick, like you said, really good disengage, but also it's got a solid engage tool. If Utility Monster comes down here, he doesn't have to engage with his EQ to set up the play. You can just have Brian use his ult and hit the bramble bushes, just kind of going forward and wrap up the targets, allow him a free EQ combo to just shred it up. A lot of people something a lot of people forget is Jarvan's Q does do armor shred. So if you're able to land that, not only do you get the knockup, you get a pretty free kill on this as they're going in. Beshi getting a lot of damage, he's getting low. First blood going over to Brian. And now Paytime trying to get something back there. Is not going to continue on to Jeff. Very abrupt fight there. And unfortunately, Beshi's engage just was not able to get the job done as Jeff walks out. Utility Monster hanging out around here. He may be looking for a possibility of dive, or is this looking... He looks like he's maybe just going for the farm right here. He's matching Wild West on the other side, both of them invading red side jungle, trying to establish some vision right there. We did see him drop a deep ward on the red side of the map.
And like one of the big things in this game is neither mid laners have taken teleport. So it's going to be a battle as to who can actually get down there first in terms of like a normal roam. Now, when Porky has packages, it'll become significantly harder for Echo to follow those roams. But without that, Echo's actually really mobile, and it'll be hard for Corky to follow, especially because Echo has enough burst damage to just pop him if he comes unblind.
Absolutely on that. Now, something else I've just been thinking about. Looking at both these junglers, you know, they kind of do a little bit different things for their teams. Where do you put your focus if you're Morgana and Jarvan? Like, which lane do you think is the one you should be trying to get ahead here? Obviously, AD carries being important, but do you think maybe like the top lane might be an option too for them?
So like I think that bot lane for YUBI, for example, is already ahead, and that lane only needs to go even. For YUBI's sake. Now, for Falcon, they have to make sure that that bot lane gets behind, so Morgana wants to come down there and make something happen. So I think that in order to keep this game as it is, Jarvan should just be counter ganking the Morgana and like keeping vision around that area. So if nothing ends up happening, YUBI is totally happy with that.
And so far, it's been nothing much, really. Beshi the only one getting engaged. The Morgana still just clearing the jungle right now. As we do see Utility Monster, he's hanging out around here on the bottom side. I think they're trying to fake this dragon out, try to drag him over here for a quick pick. Hafs is backing, though. He does have the teleport up. He could try to assist his team here. The rest of FEC is here. Camel Basil, though, he does get the stun onto the Jarvan, but he's going to back out of it. There's too many enemies around for him to deal with. Brian looking for something. The teleport coming in from Hafs. Jeff God stepping forward. Going to have to back up. Here comes the teleport from the Cho'Gath. Jarvan going in onto Beshi. Beshi getting low. Beshi going down to Jeff. It's a heavy engage from the Jarvan. Now Camel grabs Brian. 2 supports down. Down goes the Jarvan as well. Now they've got Jeff in the air. Jeff trying to run away. He has to flash over the wall. Looking for something right there. There goes the Jarvan ult. And YUBI's going to have to get out. A 1-for-2 trade in favor of FEC. And that's going to be the Cloud Drake.
Oh, another disconnect. That's incredibly unfortunate. Are we not seeing the pauses for these?
No, it would have shown us that.
I see.
They were all stopped. It's a way for him to, to rub it in, like, man, I don't even have to be connected to beat you guys in the fight.
Exactly. Honestly, really good TP from Hafs there. One of the big things was that YUBI was the one who was calling for Dragon. Freelancer had used their ults on the minions in top lane because so they need to make sure to communicate that early because otherwise if you're planning on going for a big fight, it's going to be really rough if Cho'Gath's coming in without an ultimate.
Yeah, you need that ultimate to quickly just take out a target right there, especially, the Ornn gets below that health point. Just gets something big there as Beshi goes in. He does hit Brian with that, but now he's getting rooted up. Jeff is looking for some picks right here. He's getting him low, doing a lot to Beshi. Beshi getting low. Jeff takes him down, and now it's on to Paytime, getting him low too. Oh my god. Paytime barely gets out with his life, and they might be looking to dive him right there. There goes the little cat. Cat goes meow, but doesn't get anything. And on the top side, Freelance takes out a half with a triple right there. Let's see how this happened.
All right, and there's that Corki package we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, the Corki package cutting him off, and ooh, he dashes right into it. Oh no. Gets low, gets the ult. Oh, Jarvan, Utility Monster almost had enough time to get that assist. But it's okay. I think Cho'Gath got stacks out of that with his ult. So all is good.
He actually didn't get the execute with his ult itself, so it won't give a stack over.
Dang, I thought just fractions. Now Paytime getting taken down. Brian grabbing him with the W, but he's gonna die too to the turret shot. Still though, this bottom lane is a little bit rough for FEC. Jeff God, and Brian, this isn't a lane that you think would normally dominate in this matchup. They don't have the poke. The engage is really on the side of FEC, but it's really working for them right now.
Yeah, that level 1 honestly meant a lot to YUBI there, and like they're just going to run away with this. But like I was saying earlier, as we can see, whenever Corki's got package up, because neither mid laner took teleport, it's going to be really hard for FEC to answer.
Yeah, and I'm gonna assume every time that package is up, it's immediately gonna be a gank top or bottom, whatever one is the most free at the time. And they've got a little bit of respite now on the side of FEC. That package is going to be down for a couple more minutes. But this Echo, he had all that time to himself in the mid lane, and he still is down a bit in CS. About 5 right now, about a whole wave.
Now, one of the big things about Echo is that he's one of the AP mid laners who can actually punish by demolishing towers with his E. So plates are a very real threat from Echo. So if we're not seeing those plates in return from the package roams, then it's just going to get harder and harder for Falcon to get back into this game.
Yeah, you don't want a Corki getting big on the map. You don't really want the Cho'Gath or the Vayne either, as Freelance and Hafs duke it out. Hafs is going to ram his way out of there. Doesn't want to fight that Cho'Gath quite yet. There's always the fear of getting too low and getting ulted, and that ult cooldown is pretty low on the Cho'Gath, honestly. So it's up quite a bit, as we're seeing Wild West. He was looking for something there, but YUBI doesn't take the bait. And this is going to be a quick recall for him, but Utility Monster is here. He does have the Herald. They might be looking to try to get a kill here and grab a couple turret plates for their AD carry. Oh,
right, good W through the Q. Making sure he's not getting knocked up. And nice trades from Camel Basil.
E from Camel Basil. He's going and he's trying to get out. Utility Monster looking for him right here. There goes the ult. They're going to try to save it. The flash ult onto him. Camel has to flash out. He's going to get out safely, but that's all of his mobility gone. He's going to have to walk the long way around for that, and that's going to be a couple turret plates and the Herald. Shelly coming out, looking for something right here. Gonna get a couple plays. Not gonna take the whole turret, but still, that's a lot of gold in the pocket of that Jarvan and that Corki. And that Corki is looking like he might be pretty scary if this game keeps going at this rate.
Now, like, as we can see, Kemo Basil looks really confident on this Echo pick. That was a really great dodge on the gank there. But it's going to be really hard the longer this goes, because like he burned his flash, he burned his ulti, and like no matter how safe Echo is as a laner and how good he is when he roams.
Beshi with the flash W in the ult. They're looking to get Jeff God. Jeff God getting so low, he is going to go down, but they take Pasty time with them. Brian trying to do something, but he's going to follow too. It's a double kill over to Wild West. Very fast engage from Beshi right there. Nets them the double.
Really good stuff from Morgana there, for Morgana and Beshi. Because like we got the rel engage. We know that YUBI aren't going to be getting out, and Morgana picks up 2 nicely sized shutdowns.
Yeah, some good gold right there. I'm not sure if Morgana is exactly who you want the gold on, but it's not the worst thing. You know, he could have gotten the double kill on the rel, which, you know, while good to get to the locket faster, is probably not where you most want the gold. But the gauge isn't solid. Now, I was going to ask you before that how FEC gets back into this, and I guess the answer right there is just going bottom side as they look for this Mountain Drake right here. Now, I
think your best bets at this point really are going to be the bottom side, because top lane's a Cho'Gath who's already got like a few stacks and their mythic finish, so like you're not really gonna get that. Corki's a ridiculously safe laner, and it's really hard to gank that from 2 sides.
Yeah,
So,
bot lane's the only option left there. Now the Mountain Drake is up. FEC didn't challenge it though after getting that double kill bottom, and it's going to go over for pretty much free over to YUBI. It's just a mountain, not something they amazingly need, but I don't think it's something they want that you want YUBI to have, considering how tanky their front line is. The Inferno Soul is going to be the name of the game this time. That's a fun one, especially with a Corki. Ooh.
Boy, yeah.
Those packages about to hurt.
Yeah, this Infernal Soul is actually incredibly important. Now, neither team wants to give this up, but if Falcon gives this up, that's the instant end of the game. If YUBI gives this up, it's going to be hard, but they can still play around it. Because like Ezreal can make a good amount of use out of it, and I'm not too sure if Echo can actually like one-shot Vayne off of it. Meanwhile, Vayne is just going to absolutely demolish everyone with Infernal Soul.
Yeah, and there's not much other DPS on the side of FEC. Half's getting pretty low here. Freelance looking to try to get a nice little goat snack for himself as Half's is forced to flash to get out of there. And now, Utility Monster hanging out on the bottom side. It looks like he might try for a gank. No, he's just going to back up right there. They're calling, hey, we don't know where Morgana is. This is probably not the best chance for us. And now Jeff God and Brian continue their push into the middle lane. Sivo trying to get something here. Camel looking for a possible chance. Oh, he gets
stun lands.
Oh, yeah. I thought he got out of it. It just barely lands. Sivo has to flash. Gets out alive, but it's going to cost him his back. And now the Echo has a chance to finally get that pressure on that turret he's been looking for. Now, Utility Monster actually surprising. We haven't seen that many ganks coming out of him so far this game.
Now, a large part of this is like we already know Jarvan like is a good champion when it comes to ganking, but they're going for a late game scaling comp. They just need to make sure nothing big happens. So as long as he's getting vision down and denying Morgana from doing as much as she can, they're doing the job correctly. Although we could see a little bit more proactiveness from the Jarvan.
Yeah, getting some ganks, possibly on the bottom side, could really help them get that big lead. Now, Half, ooh, he gets stunned up. Here comes the Jarvan looking for something right here. Gets him low. The ult goes down, and it's a goat snack. Now they're on to Wild West. Wild West trying to ult in, but here comes the Corki package. He's going to take him down. Civilac grabs the kill onto Wild West. It's a 2-for-0 right now in favor of YUBI. And the Cho'Gath is going to take those turrets. He's a big boy. He doesn't care.
And there's that Corki package once again. Like, there's just so little ways for them to actually like deal with it. And after that initial gank off in top lane, they're allowed to just force so much more.
Ooh, I thought Beshi got stunned there. Oh, the ult comes in from Jackpot. He's looking for something right here. Paytime getting low. He's going to get W'd up by Brian. He's going to go down. And now the ult comes through. They're looking for another. It's a double kill going over to Jeff God. Beautiful fight right there in that back outer bush.
Man, this bot lane is just consistently destroying everyone that they end up going against. And the few times, and we've seen that even when they do get behind, they're absolutely capable of bringing it back.
Yeah, and they just get the first turret downside. Corki holding it just enough for the Vayne to get it. I think that's actually really smart, you know, giving the Vayne the extra 400 gold for, I mean, the extra little bit of gold for first tower. Smart play by them, but they get both. 2 towers down on the map, a 6k goal lead, 18.5 minutes in, and dragging up in a minute and a half. FEC got to find a way to get themselves back into this. And I think it might be through... Honestly, I think it's looking for another play on the bottom side.
Mm-hmm. And we see that Dragon's coming up in a minute. I want to see Freelancer not use their ulti soon because they need to hold that for Dragon, so that way they just have like the extra smite, the extra damage for the fight, and I think you just get this tower, you just walk out, and should be all good.
Yeah, it's the last outer tower out. All of them falling within about 45 seconds of each other as the rest of YUBI sets up for the Dragon. Shirley dropped up on the top side. They're looking to try to maybe get some pressure up here. Halfs knows he can't directly teleport right now. If he teleports, Freelance is just going to take that top inner turret. And that's something you really don't want to give up right now, as the Shirley is going to get the charge. Or actually, is she? Oh, she doesn't. Halfs manages to stop it. And now there's an fight on the bottom side. Jeff God actually goes on a killing spree as Utility Monster goes down. Now Jeff God is looking for another, gets a double kill. He's going for Camel Basil. Camel Basil trying to fight back, but Jeff God gets a triple. What can't this man do? Let's see how this fight broke out. Yeah, I mean, so distracted by Shirley in the top side. Those beautiful purple scales. Okay. And it looks like they maybe tried to go onto Brian. Thought he was alone.
All right, so we're seeing that Imperial Mandate sapling zoning, really strong at this point in the game.
Oh, there it is. It's on to Beshi from Utility. Good play right there.
And Jeff is just hitting Wild West on the back. Like, yeah, this Vayne is completely untouched, and there's just there's not that much that they can do about it at this point, unless they're the ones who are starting the engage. If Falcon are not sitting around, or not like sitting behind, starting the engage and goon squatting, it's going to be really hard for them to get back into this game. I think at this point, you just group up as 4 or 5, pick some random person who's walking around the map, and say, "Hey, you die now."
Yeah, and YUBI, they're playing this Vayne like an assassin. Goes in on Westwell, just comes in from behind, just starts cleaning up everything. Secret Agent Vayne behind enemy lines. It's paying off really well, though. 7-1-3 right now on this Vayne. 2 whole items complete. I gotta see how much Jeff has when he backs up after this one. I'm assuming he's got a whole nother item after that. He's got 2,200 gold, so not quite a full item, but most of the components of his next piece.
And that's going to be for the IE. This Vayne is going to pop both squishies and tanks at this rate.
Ooh, those those little saplings do so much already to Camel. He's half health just by 2 of them in a bush. He's just gonna have to back up off of that. Baron is up on the board now. I don't know if YUBI is ready quite yet to contest it. They are pretty big, but you don't want to throw your lead at that objective.
I think at this point they just rotate the Vayne top, so that way they're going to have priority for it. Get vision into the enemy jungle, put the Cho'Gath bot until he has ult up, and then you can force the Baron with Cho'Gath ulti.
Ooh, and Half just barely gets out. Utility Monster does knock him up though. Considers it. Just gonna be the turret. Yeah, just set up around the pit, get some saplings set up around, like you said, in those bushes. Gonna be, or even just in the base point, just to kind of dissuade them from going forward. There already are so much damage, and ooh, Jeff, Halfs is gonna have a really hard time dealing with this Vayne. His armor is going to mean nothing.
Yeah, and this Vayne, like, the thing is, like, Vayne didn't need to get ahead this game. Vayne just needed to go even. But the fact that Vayne's ahead with a Maokai support means that they get so much control over this.
Utility Monster does get rooted up, but the team is engaging. Brian's ult coming in. It's going to go wide, and they're going to have to force the flash out of halves. And that's the call. YUBI going towards that, straight towards that Baron after that. This is going to be 3, keeping the Corki there to distract them, make them not think that it's going on, but now I think they've spotted it out. I think they smell something's amiss. The ult comes through. They do see the Baron is under fire, and now 4 members of FEC are heading over there. The Cho'Gath teleport is coming in. Camel Basil is so far away. The Baron does go down, but that's a beautiful phenomenal coming in from Beshi. They grab 1, they grab 2, but now it's like trying to stop Jeff. Jeff grabs 1 kill. He's looking for another right now. Freelance trying to buy all the time in the world. He takes out Pasty, but is gonna fall in the process. Freelance trying to get away. He's gonna flash over the wall. They get the Baron and a 3-for-3 fight. FEC managing to get something out of that.
What a beautiful engage from Beshi there. Like, they weren't able to steal the Baron away, but they were able to get some kills back off of that. Like, they're trying to force their way back into this game. Hopefully they can get it objected off of this.
Yeah, they might be going for this mid turret here. I can't tell if the package is not up yet for the Corki, so he's not going to be able to get out here fast enough. I don't know if the turret will go down in time. The Cho'Gath is here. He could dissuade, and now the package is up. Now they're going to have to back out. This Cho'Gath is already a monster. But I want to talk about in that fight, Jeff. Well, actually, is Freelance going to... He's going to try to fight? No, he's going to dissuade them. I want to talk about Jeff in that fight, though. That man was on, like, a quarter health for almost the entire fight after that engage and managed to pick up 3 kills still.
Yeah, that's the power of Vayne's final hour. Like, it's such a good move, and being able to stealth on command is like really, really valuable for the AD carries at this point in the game.
Yeah, and Freelance doing a great job in that fight, body blocking all of the Ezreal Qs. They can't go through a target. He's very big. He's very beefy. He's just tanking all of them for his team, being that meat shield that they need, the big Chungus of the team. Ooh. Saplings, even outside of those bushes, are doing a lot of damage now.
But yeah, YUBI in this team composition with a lead are very scary to deal with because you've got the saplings, so they've got vision pretty much everywhere. And one of the big things here, Jarvan can EQ while rooted. So it doesn't matter that they have Morgana. If Morgana lands a root on Jarvan, he just EQs out. So they're allowed to just walk up for vision for free here. And there's not that much that they can do in return.
Yeah, they're going to have to be very careful, too. Freelance getting half health. He is getting poked down. Ooh, he's taking a lot from this Ezreal. And now here comes root from the Jarvan. Like you said, the EQ out, even if he's rooted. And the teleport coming in from halves. Let's see if he looks for a fight here. The Dragon is up in 4 seconds. The Cho'Gath is healing up pretty quick, though. And Corki on the bottom side, he gets that last inner turret on the bottom side. No, there's still actually one left on the top. This is going very low, very quick. Utility looking for Sign. He does manage to grab the Dragon, and now here comes the ultimate from Brian. They do end up rooting the Echo. They're looking for Sign right here. They're going in. Maokai goes forward. He gets the root. They're going to try to grab him. Camel trying to run. Jeff God grabs 1 kill on the side, though, on the Wild West. He's looking for another right now. Grabs 2 onto the Ezreal. Here comes the ult in from the Rel. They manage to take him down, but his team is now dogpiled by the ult of the Jarvan, and it's just Haas versus the world, but he's going to fall too. An ace for YUBI, and 1 death is all they gave for the Dragon for 5, and probably this inhibitor too, and possibly the game, but I guess 20 seconds left. They might just get the inhibitor and back out.
Yeah, like, most of their gold lead is on Jeff, so Jeff not being up means that it's going to be a little hard for them to force the entire game, but that's definitely an inhib going down, and this game is looking harder and harder for Falcon to bring back.
Yeah, Jeff basically 1v4'd that. Well, the rest of his team is off on the right side, chasing Camel. He just 1v4s, gets 2 kills out of it. And, you know, he dies in the end, but that Jarvan, like, he was a bait. Baits him in, gets the Jarvan, allows them to get trapped in the pit with the Cho'Gath. Perfect bait. Perfect play right now coming out of YUBI. It's what we expect from our last undefeated team right now. And this team is putting on quite a show.
Yeah, as long as Jeff's teammates can, like, keep the enemy CC from, like, getting directly on top of him, Like Jeff's just looking like Gosu God Gamer over here.
Jeff, it's the ultimate Jeff God. It's Jeff from, instead of Jeff from the Overwatch team, it's Jeff from the Vayne Squad team.
Oh boy.
They're not even goon squatting, they're Vayne squatting. I've got the puns. I've got so many puns for days on this. But Dragon not going to be up for another 3 minutes. They did grab it off that play. Baron is up in 1:10, though. They're setting up around it right now. It looks like they're going to try to contest it when it comes up. And, you know...
4 members from YUBI with control words. You'll love to see it.
Gotta make sure you have all of the control. You don't want that Echo flank. Though with Echo trapped on the bot side dealing with that wave, I don't think he's going to be able to. As Brian burns the ult to just dissuade them right here. Haps, though, caught out. Jeff God looking for Simon right here. Doesn't even to condemn him. Just going to basic attack him to death with a roll. Now, Brian getting low. He does use the W to go forward. He is going to go down, but now they're on to Wild West. Wild West looking for the ult. Not going to matter. Jeff God grabs one. Wild West goes golden, and he's going to try to run to Jeff God now on to pay time. Just takes him out right there. A triple kill for Jeff God. This man is just so godly in this game. And he might be looking for more on the side, too. Cho'Gath got to be careful. He is getting low. They're going to push this turret. Camel looking to go on to Jeff, though. Jeff getting low. He gets shut down, and Camel gets out alive. Secret Agent Camel grabs himself a kill.
That was a ridiculously good pick from Camel there. Like, honestly, it might not be a game-winning play, but that's what I would call a game-saving play for now.
Yeah, that's going to stop them going for that Baron right there with only 180 carry and being pretty low. They're just going to give it up. And now this gives FCEC that chance to finally clear out that vision, to finally start inching a little bit more control back onto this side of the map. But right now they still have to deal with these minions that are pressing into their base from the bottom side. And they're just going to back up off that vision. And it looks like YUBI's going to probably just straight up start the Baron right now after they clear out this vision. Though Cho'Gath going bottom side, he does have the teleport to match halves if they need to. So they can be pretty safe.
Now, this is an interesting thought. So that's a Bloodthirster pickup from Jeff God. And I don't necessarily agree. I feel like at this point in the game, you just grab a GA and they have a lot more to deal with, because if they dump all their damage on top of you, and you die for it, the Bloodthirster shield itself won't really matter that much. It's more of just a matter of they've already burned everything. Now you're coming back to life, and they have the rest of your team and you to deal with.
That's true, but there is lifesteal on it, and he has been getting quite a lot of shots even while he's low. Maybe he thinks those shots with the shield will give him just the time he needs to finish it. As FEC now pulls the trigger onto this Baron, but YUBI sniffs it out. They're coming up here. Paytime already near 2/3 health, and Beshi as well. They're grabbing the plants. They're getting it low. Baron at half health. The teleport coming in from Freelance. FEC baited it out. They're trying to back up now. Let's see if they can get out. And actually, YUBI's is going to be, oh, thanks for leashing this for us. We're going to start that up. But nope, they're just going to dissuade as Jeff God just grabs the dragon for free on the bottom side. Right there, Brian getting the ult off. They're just going to separate Ezreal. Ezreal going to get out fine. That is the soul over to YUBI right now. And that is not what you want to see if you're FEC. As now YUBI makes the inside track. They're looking to try to grab themselves another inhibitor with this last inhibitor turret. Freelance going forward. Here comes Utility Monster. Gets the Q down. They do root the Cho'Gath. He's not really eating anything out of that. And the turret is so low. I think this is going to go straight down. Jeff God grabs it. They go forward. They're looking to maybe grab another. Jeff God is going forward. A little bit of Vayne spotting. Getting a little bit far forward. Now he goes for Camel. Camel half health from 2 shots right there. That third may have actually almost killed him immediately. And now YUBI turns to grab the Baron and try to end this game.
I went 2 inhibs down against Cho'Gath Jarvan. There's basically 0 way for Falcon to contest this Baron. Like, if they steal this somehow, that is 100% a throw and not a steal at this point.
Yeah, there's no Ezreal to save them, and it goes down so fast. My goodness. Cho'Gath grabbing it there. I'm not sure if that was his bite. It was his bite indeed that grabs it. Got another little bit of health on there. I think at this point it's not going to matter much. They're almost 14,000 gold up on their opponents right now. 31 minutes in. The Cho'Gath feast. He does grab it, it looks like. Yes. Yes, he does. And now they're pushing forward right here. YUBI trying to siege on this last inhibitor. FEC is going to have to make a stand here, or at their Nexus turrets. I think this is probably the better point. You don't want triple inhibitors down. There is only one minion left. It is baroned up. It is the cannon. It is going to just keep firing. It is getting pretty low, though, but now the next wave is here. Freelance just trying to block all those Ezreal Qs, allow the minions to get up to the turret. Ezreal coming out. Oh, Beshi with a 3-man ult. Gets the stun. Sivlak does get out. Brian does take him down. Beshi going forward to die. Half's going down too. It's a double kill for the Corki. He grabs the Orange. Jarvan grabs the Echo. Jeff grabs the Morgana. They grab the Ace, and that's going to be the game. Ladies and gentlemen, YUBI advance to 5-0 and remain our last undefeated team in the Heroic League.
Jeez, what a phenomenal game. It was a really good silence on Freelance's part to make sure that they couldn't get the Ornn ulti to really follow up. But wow, Jeff and Brian are actually just running away with that bot lane lead.
Yeah, they are looking like the strongest bot lane in the league right now, putting up insane numbers. Look at that damage out of the Vayne, 31,000 right onto her. And Ezreal putting up 24,000 too. I think a lot of that is also, hitting a Cho'Gath who can just absorb forever.
Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong, Ezreal damage, it's nice. He's still a poke champion. He's going to be putting out a lot of damage, overall. But dear Lord, that Vayne damage was monumental.
Absolutely it was. And I also want to bring up the Jarvan too. The Jarvan actually was doing so much work in those fights, buying so much room, countering the rel engages. Every time he got stunned, immediately, as soon as he came out of it, EQ to try to stop anyone that was trying to dive onto his line. And that worked out so well. So much healing done from the Jarvan.
Yeah, that core drinker really come in handy. One of all the things that Jarvan needed to do was aggro tank and make sure that they couldn't hit Vayne. And dear Lord, did they not have a chance to hit Vayne?
Yeah, not at all. Unless Jeff went in and just let them, he's like, let the peasants hit me. Give them a little something for their troubles. But seeing damage mitigation too. Tanks doing their work. Rel also grabbing quite a bit there. The Maokai, it wasn't doing very much, but definitely was going more of an AP route. So that's understandable. Overall, I think this was a very good game from YUBI. We saw a little bit of issue just a bit in the beginning in terms of jungle. It looked like Utilium a little bit uncomfortable at trying to figure out what he was going to do with the Jarvan. He's going to gank or power farm. But, it didn't matter. Jeff, God, and Brian, like you said, they carried through this game, got to the point where that didn't even matter anymore, and they just need a team fight. And Utilium Monster put up really good numbers up in those team fights.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like YUBI at this point, they're very comfortable with just letting Jeff God output most of the damage and allowing them to be the main DPS, while everyone else, their job is to enable Jeff God, which they are very, very good at pulling that off. And it's not necessarily an easier or harder thing to do. It's just a different play style, and YUBI seem very accustomed to it.
Yeah, and this is really exciting to watch YUBI. I think at this point, they started out at the bottom of a lot of people's power rankings, but they've proven, I think they are the best team in the league right now.
Well, they're definitely up there. They're very consistent, and I feel like they know what their strengths are, and they're playing to them a lot.
Indeed. Well, that does it for us for this game. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with an interview.
alone just to try the grown-up way. I don't know over the phone if you feel the same. And we could
Hello, everyone. Chris Edgeworth. I messed up my own name. That's horrible. Chris Edgeworth here on the interview desk. I'm joined by Freelancer216 from the victorious Universal Basic Income. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Thanks for having me here, Chris.
Well, it's my pleasure. You are the Kings in the Castle now, the last undefeated team in the league. How does that feel, getting this win, but also knowing that now, after the last game with INT, that you reign supreme?
It feels pretty good. I will say we definitely still have some hesitation for our game tomorrow. We are really looking forward to it, but we'll see how that goes.
Everyone's definitely going to be keeping their eyes on that game tomorrow. Let me ask you about your plan going into this game specifically. What did you cook up?
Yeah, the first thing that I wanted to say was we were really expecting the Rel, and so we kind of first picked something that would go really well into that Rel. And honestly, bot lane is where we consistently shine, and I think that our draft there just worked really well for us this game.
There is probably a reason why he's the Jeff God Gamer. It has certainly been apparent in many of the games you guys have played this season. And that really actually leads me to my next point. We were talking in the break about how you feel about your drafts overall. Talk to me a little bit about your team's overall approach to this league and how that tends to your dominance so far.
Mm-hmm. While we do play a bit each week, we also probably spend half an hour plus each week just doing some draft prep for each game and looking at what picks we really expect. And then we also have our coaches and just some friends that we just run our ideas by, and they really help us hone our ideas and hone our drafts to really be excellent. And I feel like we win in draft most of the time. Jeff and Brian really do a great job executing a lot of the games, but as so do Josh and Clovis there in the mid lane. But I feel most of our preparation comes in draft.
I can agree with that. I mean, especially if you know what you're drafting for and you have a clear, coherent plan, and it just comes down to execution. I think we can all agree that the execution has certainly been there this season, and it shows on the win-loss column with the 5-0. So, but let's talk about a little bit, at least, about this game that we just played. How did you feel in that game? It was the noodle fight up in the top lane, while there was some actual gameplay going on the rest of the map. How did that game feel for you and everything?
So up at the top lane, it felt fairly comfortable. We were able to track Morgana for most of the game. And so I felt pretty safe up there. We had a few kind of scary moments kind of in mid lane and around the dragon pit in the early game. But overall, just with our team play, our jungle mid synergy, and our very strong bot lane, we were able to pull it out.
Well, Freelancer, I want to thank you again for joining us for an interview. Any final words you want to leave with us before we go?
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you guys, FOF, and everyone playing in the league for having us. This has been a ton of fun so far, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the season.
Well, we certainly appreciate having you and having Universal Basic Income joining the league. And I want to thank you again for joining me for an interview. And folks, don't touch that browser. We'll be right back with the final game of the day real soon. All right.
cosmic, 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 cosmic.
Val Music.